Thank you, Mr. Ganesh Deivanayagam. Firstly, on behalf of everyone here, a warm and hearty congratulations to you for being reappointed as chairman, and to the vice chairman, the treasurer, and the rest of the committee. Congratulations to you all. You know, in an association, when a chairman is reappointed without election, it generally means one of two things. Either the workload is too heavy or the coffers are too empty. I believe if one were to ask Ganesh, he'll probably say it is both. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure. I shall pause a while until the table is cleared. My pleasure to invite your reappointed chairman, Mr. Ganesh Deivanayagam, reappointed to the position as chairman of the Tea Exporters Association, to please take this podium and share with us his welcome address.
Once again, good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to first make the formal hearty welcome, starting with our chief guest, country representative for Sri Lanka and Maldives, for the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, Mr. Vimalendra Sharan. Our guest of honor, His Excellency Khalid Hamud Nasser Al-Dassam Al-Qahtani, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Mr. Niraj Dimel, Chairman of Sri Lanka Tea Board, Mr. Dan Gomez, our keynote speaker, who is here to knock you out with this presentation to come, no pun intended. Our past chairman of the Tea Exporters Association, the giants on whose shoulders we all stand and look for the future, as we say. Past chairman of the Tea Board officials, officials of the Ministry of Plantation Industries, many other government institutions, officials who continue to work with the TEA, especially the chairman and members of other stakeholder associations, the factory owners, the planters, brokers, and a special mention to the many sponsors who have made this event possible, invitees, and my dear brothers and sisters of the trade. My hearty welcome to all of you. I'm told we have about 500 today, just over 500 people. It's a record of sorts. So thank you for coming in this number and supporting the event and to be part of this great association. And sisters especially in the trade. I do see many more of them this time. We made an effort to welcome more of them. So thank you, and a very special warm welcome to all of you, and a welcome to engage with the association even more in the future. That's about 10% of the allotted time for me, I think, taken already. So I will swiftly go on to the two key things that I wish to present in front of you this evening very swiftly, as we have an agenda packed with lots of interesting speeches and programs, and an enjoyable evening at the end of it all. So the two things that I want to impress upon today, the first being the state of tea exports, the actions and numbers that we have come through over the last year. And on this the second point I will impress upon is something about the theme of our evening, facing the future together. We are all aware that the tea exports of Sri Lanka is the only two big brands of Sri Lanka that are there, which was mentioned by our keynote speaker this afternoon. It's cricket and tea. And tea being one of the key exports and a name giver for Sri Lanka has been stagnant at around 1.3 to 1.4 billion US dollars of exports. And I use the word stagnant because we've really not broken that ceiling, glass ceiling, and moved out. However, the positive story in this performance is that Sri Lankan exports have sustained at this level of revenue despite the perils and challenges that we face within our own lovely country as well as around the globe in the markets that we face. I had the opportunity to make a small presentation at an Indian organization called UPASI, which is the United Planters Association of the South India. And I had the opportunity to sit through their proceedings and understand a little bit of how that industry works. And the key differentiator that I was able to glean out of that was, in Sri Lanka, the edge that is given by the blender packer exporter community is something unique, something that this group specializes in, and something that helps us to excel in the marketplace, to market the production of the fine Ceylon tea in its various grades and forms. The result is very much there to be seen. Ceylon tea achieves an average FOB price per kg of US dollars 5.10. Compare that to our neighbor in India, the average FOB price they achieve is 3.58. And to the largest, in terms of volume exports, Kenya, it's only 2.60, which is about half of the average FOB price value that we earn. And we, the small island of Sri Lanka, still remain the largest revenue earner of tea in the world. We're punching well above our weight, except for probably China, whose numbers can be, either way. So we are the largest exporter, other than China, to the world in terms of dollars earned. So that is a feat that we've been able to achieve by the relentless pursuit of the exporters, breaking global barriers, continuously innovating, walking into even war zones continuously, taking innumerable and sometimes insane risks, especially giving credit to countries that probably not even seen in the map, and clocking up countless air miles and running up big airline bills, of course, as a part of that. Yet, we continue our pursuit despite the roadblocks and challenges which are placed in front of us day in and day out, internally within Sri Lanka, as well as outside of Sri Lanka. I say internally, I mean things like issues we continuously face in terms of the difficulties in importation of material for re-export, whether it be the Damocles sword that is hanging up on our heads, the removal of the suspended VAT scheme that we have, which is going to create a big problem for the export industry, or many other perils, and the big taxation that's been slapped on not only tea, all the export industries. This is going to take away the money that the exporters have been able to invest into growth. That is being now taken away from us as well. Despite all of this, we are continuing to earn the highest dollars across all the world of tea exporters. So this is something that we believe we've been able to achieve. And this positive story of Ceylon Tea is achieved by the symbiotic working of all stakeholders in the industry, which brings us nicely to focus on the theme of this evening, facing the future together. The fuel and fertilizer crises that were faced by the industry over the past year brought our industry together, got us really, really close. When I say the industry, I mean all stakeholders. I mean the government also as a key stakeholder. We all came together to help each other. And in the past year, TEA worked closely with the Sri Lanka Tea Factory Owners Association to give a push to get fertilizers available to the smallholders at a reasonable price. We engaged a specialist fertilizer consultant for this purpose. We negotiated the best possible prices within the market. We threatened to import fertilizer so that the big importers would bring the prices down. The Tea Board kindly gave an interest-free loan. With all of this, I believe this small initiative, it wasn't taken up in a very big way by the factory owners that we must understand. But however, it did make a big dent in the pricing of fertilizer, and our smallholders were able to afford, and it broke ground on bringing the prices down. So during the past year, we also engaged with the Federation of Smallholder Farmers for I wouldn't say the first time, but it was a key moment for the tea industry sitting in Colombo. The Federation of Smallholders is an umbrella organization which includes over 500,000 families, 500,000 farmers, the number of farmers who are the real growers of the Ceylon tea, which counts for about, the smallholders, as we all know, count for more than 70% of our tea production. TEA distributed some school books. This was a way that we could start the engagement with this organization to 500 smallholder farmer children, and we attended their grassroots level meetings to understand and respond to the issues faced by them. So we were always outward looking. We thought we only needed to look at the market, but now we realize that we have to be together with the entire industry to make a difference, and that's how we are going to be facing this future. And another small initiative and effort is shown by the presence of the FAO representative today at the Tea Exporters Association annual general meeting. We understand, even though tea is classified as a food commodity and the FAO does engage at different levels with the intergovernment group and so on and so forth, the international recognition and support that is generally given to other agricultural commodities and production is not given fully to the tea industry. And we believe the presence of Mr. Sharan is going to make a difference across the production environment within Sri Lanka. And these are all small beginnings, and as Henry Ford said, I believe, coming together is the beginning, keeping together is progress. So we are in the progress mode, we are together. However, working together is success. And ladies and gentlemen, along with all the stakeholders, we are looking out to the future. We will face the future and make a success of it all. So that is the message. And I also wish to end by making a clarion call to all of you here to get yourselves more engaged with the efforts of this association. The government has always been supportive. So I need to also make a small thank you note to some of the officials who are here. We work very closely with the tea board, and working closely, we do understand the effort and the passion that they have always shown, and they continue to show for the betterment of the industry. It's not just the tea board, the plantation ministry, the central bank, and many other government organizations, the individuals who really do feel for the industry, and we are really thankful to them for their continued efforts. And I also should thank my EXCO members who continue to be a great support. We are now having specialists on different areas to work like a cabinet of ministers even to make a difference for this industry. And I have to thank a pillar of the Tea Exporters Association. I probably should call him not just the pillar, he's also the principal, like a school principal, Ranjit, Mr. Ranjit Abekun, who continues to stand solid with the association, and Dilumi, the CTTA, the chamber, all of whom continue to support us, strengthen us to do what we are meant to do. And a special thanks once again to all our sponsors who continue to support us. We look forward to your support, especially in the next year. We have a tea convention that is going to be hosted in Colombo. Please do spread the word. We will have in July next year a wonderful tea convention which is going to bring the tea community across the world to Colombo to make a difference on sustainability, as well as on focusing on the livelihood of many people who depend on this industry in Sri Lanka. The theme for the tea convention is Ceylon tea, a lifestyle and a livelihood. A lifestyle being for many around the world as by the way they consume tea, and a livelihood for many people in this country, whether they are wearing a suit and a tie or whether they are wearing a basket on their shoulders. It is the livelihood for many. With that, I will come to that clarion call which I kind of started off for the people of the industry to join together with the association in whichever possible form. We all sometimes wonder, why do we need to, come together? There is no time to look after our own business. Challenges are many, whether it be the government or the markets. And with all these challenges in the country, globally, are we really going to make a difference by coming together as an association? And are we really going to see any difference? So many have come and so many have spoken, so many speeches have been made on this stage. Has anything changed? To this, I wish to give a small quote, which I found thanks to Mr. Karunaratna, who reminded about my father, which I found Mr. D. Ishwaran from one of his books. This quote is about hope and what will give us courage to join together in service of our people. This is from Tirukkural. I'm not sure if many of you would have heard of Tirukkural, which is a 2,000 plus years old Tamil poetry written in couplets, 1,330 of them in all, written by Thiruvalluvar. The couplet number 1023 goes as follows. Kudi seival ennum oruvarku deivam madi tatru thaan mundurum. The meaning of this couplet, this Tirukkural, is when someone is working for his people, whether it be your people in your own organization, whether it be the people of your community, whether it be the people of your country, when someone is working or thinking of even working, serving his community, the gods will jump out and come to help them. I think the picturization in English is not very clear, so I thought I will give the picture in Sinhala. Api kawurut අපේ අයට අපේ මිනිසාට සේවාවක් කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා හිතන ගමන් දෙවියෝ සරමත් වලපට ගාගෙන පාරට බෑලා අපිට උදව් කරනවා කියලා. That is the meaning of this kural, this Tirukkural. So let us think and work for the future of this industry. This industry which has been responsible for many years, many decades, for the free education of this country, for the free health of this country, which we have all enjoyed. And let us be thinking about the estate workers, the smallholders, and the families of our staff members. And when we start thinking and when we start making that little beginnings, all what we have done is those little beginnings, even God will come out of his way running to help us. With that thought, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you once again, and I hope with humility you will follow some of these points and, of course, enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.